Hello, I'm Chanel, this is Spirited Stardust, and this is what I have made this week. So I've decided to only share recipes that are good, that I thought were delicious. I'm going to start with chicken staffato. I forgot to take a photo, but it was really Moorish. It's a chicken braised in a red wine, tomato, oregano sort of sauce. It's like a Greek style recipe. It was delicious. The chicken was succulent, the sauce was complex. I've got some left over and I think it would go great with the pasta. So that was the chicken staffato, and then tonight I've made a pecan pie cheesecake. I haven't tasted it yet because I'm taking it to my partner's grandmother's 90th birthday party. But I have hopes for it, so I will talk about it later before I show you my crochet to say how delicious or not delicious it was, but I think it's going to be a good one. So it's basically just like a pecan caramel sort of, I put some amaretto in it for just a hint of something else. We'll see how that pans out. And then I also made this like creamsicle smoothie. I like the idea of adding frozen mandarins to smoothies. I think that's great. I just never thought of it before. I don't know why. But I find with avocado, whilst they add a creaminess, they can make things a little like thick. It's more like a pudding almost. Like I did have to eat it with a spoon. But it was delicious, it was refreshing, it was something I don't normally make. It's, a combination of flavors I don't normally use, so that was fun. With my crochet, my physio said that because I'm about like 95% better, that she thinks so to get that extra 5%, to get it really back to 100%, from now on when I crochet, I'm meant to wear a tennis elbow brace sort of on my arm to stop it from like pulling on those muscles in the elbow and just above it. So we'll see how that goes. I'm really excited. I'm really hoping it works because there's so many things obviously I want to make, but also just get back to my usual life. I haven't been able to like work out the way I normally work out, and yeah, I'm feeling really out of shape and it sucks, especially with strength training. You don't do it for a couple of months now. I know I've completely lost all my progress. I'm gonna have to start back at square one. So that really blows, but what can you do? But I'm excited to crochet some new stuff and to just really start banging things out. Maybe I can increase the amount of time a day that I can crochet for if it's not going to keep aggravating and causing inflammation in my arm. But yeah, without much further ado, let's get into what else I've made this week.
Hello. So let's look at what I have made. I'm going to preface by saying I just found out that I have been yarn undering the whole time, or hook over, yarn under, hook over, instead of the normal yarn over. And I was like, oh my god, maybe this is also why my projects are quite tight, because I heard that doing yarn under increases like the tension and the tightness of the stitch and makes it smaller and you use more yarn. So I'm like, okay, let's do a few stitches over again in this yarn over way and see how that goes. I'm going to be honest, I don't like it. Obviously, it's just not the way I naturally crochet, so I had to keep using my brain to put the yarn over. And I also don't like that it definitely did affect the tension in my bags and made them looser. But the plus side of yarn over is it is so much easier, especially when you have to pull the yarn through multiple loops, like in a daisy or jasmine stitch. Way easier. Also, it was less painful on my hands, I guess because this is, I don't know, less tension. But I think moving forward, besides, like I said, the stitches like jasmine or daisy where you have to do multiple loops, I think I'm just going to go back to yarn undering because that's just my preferred style. We'll see. I don't know, but I think that's probably what's going to happen. So anyway, let's start with, we've got this bag here. This is Dying to Knit in Blueberry Sorbet. I did half double crochet, so in this bag I keep my oh my gosh, I don't even know what it's called. What's it called? Catland cards, because I wanted something to match that purple. Okay, so this was still in my yarn under This is before I realized what I've been doing this whole time. So with the yarn, it's actually nice. Dyeing to knit, I would use again. It's nice. Not my favorite. Actually, I'm going to backtrack. I just realized, no, I'm not going to use it again because it's average and the variegated color isn't very variegated. And it's only because I've got so many other brands to choose from. But otherwise, it's a great yarn. It's just that it's not making it into like my top 5. And that's why I won't use it again. Geez, what have I done here? I've snipped the button, or one of my cats has ripped some of the yarn off the button. Gosh darn it. And I did, yeah, half double crochet, which is like okay. It's nothing special. I won't use that stitch again personally. Okay, next up we've got Some Girls Are Time Lords, such a cool name, by 24 Mile Hollow Yarn. Can't even fit the whole bag in the frame because I've zoomed in too close. I have got in this deck Dreamy Moons Tarot. So those are the backs, and then you've got like very colorful fronts. And I'm like not getting all the colors, but there's so many colors in here that I wanted black with lots of colors, and I did the little moon button as well. So I did, I'm not a huge fan of this particular yarn. This was 4-ply. I had to double it up. Now 24 Mile Hollow has so many different blends of yarns, so it's not like I wouldn't use the brand again. I would, because I've used other types of their yarn. I think this is just a regular 4-ply, like sort of nylon wool mix. This wasn't my favorite, and to be honest, it was too black. It came up too black, not enough cool colors. So I did this in, what did I do it in? Oh, grit stitch, which I don't mind actually. It is a bit of a flat stitch though, so I don't know if I'd use it for more bags, but I did this with yarn under, and then I've done this one. The other one I did grit stitch with yarn over. It's definitely a bit looser and it looks a little bit different. I will admit it's probably a bit nicer, but it wasn't such a big difference. I'll be like, I'll just yarn under it. So I've got Pass Around the Smiles deck in here because I thought that would go. And this is in the lovely dyed by hand yarn, which I am a fan of. It's like a silk blend, and it's in the color Yellow Block. So I was quite happy with this. It's the second yarn of theirs I've used. I will definitely use them again. And it's 4-ply, so I had to double yarn it. All right, and then we've got an absolute schmozzle of a thing, because I totally messed this up. So I measured it way too big, and now it's loose, and I can't stand loose bags. I also did this in lemon peel stitch, yarn over, and it's just way too drapey. That being said, this is also got like silk or cashmere, one of those in it. So this is Park or Kitty chopped wood for the fireplace. I think that's what it's called. I would have put it up on the screen. What have I got in here? I'll show you what I've got in here. So in here I've got my Aha Oracle. I didn't really have anything in those colors, so I just went for browns. Now this did my head in. I've done it like inside out. Luckily lemon peel looks the same both ways. I've like sewn it around, and all I've got to do is rip off the button and then push it inside out and do it properly, but I can't be bothered, guys. I hate sewing, absolutely hate it. This did my head in though, because it was so hard to get the inside thread, because obviously this is a 4-ply. I had to double yarn it, so I had the thread on the outside, and then when I went to get the yarn from the inside, it took forever to find the single piece. And also because of that, it just kept knotting up. I had to join this so many times because it got so knotted that I had to cut it. I love brands that, and there's a few that have done it, they've got the yarn on the outside that you just pick off, but the inside yarn, they've pulled it out and they either like tape it to their little folded up label, or they, what's the word? They just have it easy to access. And it's not necessarily the yarn makers that do it, because a lot of the yarn makers sell their yarn in hanks, I've noticed, but it's the people that wind it for me. So I can't remember who it was. I think it's the Yarn Bowl. They I love them because they pull the inside one as well, because I'm doing a project right now and I need, once again, double yarn, and it's right there ready to go, and there's no tangling and there's no fuss. I hate it when you put your fingers in and you're just digging out all this yarn barf and you still can't find the bloomin' end thread, you know. And this one just knotted all over the place. This was a bit of a nightmare. And like I said, it's so baggy. I hate it when it's baggy. But in terms of the stitch, I actually do quite like lemon peel. I think it's quite nice, and I think it showcases the colors nicely, and it feels pretty good. So lemon peel might be something I continue to do. It might rival my Suzette and my Trinity, because they're my top two at the moment for bags, but we'll see. I'm definitely going to do it with the yarn under again to see how it looks tightened up, and if there is a big difference with the pattern and the way it goes. But like I said earlier, I've been given the okay to crochet a bit more as long as I wear my tennis elbow brace. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm going to obviously play between yarn overing and yarn undering. Yarn undering is obviously easy for me. I just do it unconsciously, whereas yarn over I have to keep concentration. But I think I might just switch the two depending on the stitch. Do I need that stitch to be tighter, or is that being tighter going to make it more difficult to do and work with it?